Hi, let's talk about the positive discipline toolkit. So I recently went for a workshop for guidance and counseling coordinators, and trust me, that was my first time getting to know that every school needs a guidance and counseling coordinator. I wasn't a guidance and counseling coordinator for my school, but my headmaster had to choose somebody, so I was given the position. The workshop was about positive discipline toolkit. That is going to be the replacement of corporal punishment in school. And the workshop was designed for guidance and counseling coordinators to educate them, and to also in return they go back to their schools to educate the staff on how to use the positive discipline toolkits rather than corporal punishment in schools. Positive discipline toolkits was introduced by GES in 2016, and it was developed through a consultative process involving GES personnel, child protection practitioners, the clergy, traditional authority, students, UNICEF representatives, teachers and teacher unions, as well as NGOs. It's not something new, it's been in existence, but I think it wasn't fully implemented. The toolkit is designed to provide the teacher with the guidance and tools to adopt a positive discipline approach in schools and classrooms. The procedure and steps are not meant to constitute an additional burden, but to serve as tools to help you to incorporate positive discipline. So this positive discipline toolkit is designed to take away corporal punishment. So instead of teachers using cane or resorting to other forms of corporal punishment, this positive toolkit has been designed to ensure that they instill discipline and they punish all right, but then they don't use any form of harmful way that is going to result in hurting or causing harm to the child. The toolkit comes in 3 levels. The level 1, which is proactive measure, the level 2, which is early detection or intervention, and level 3, which is the corrective measure. Each of these levels has its measures that is going to guide the type of discipline to instill when a child goes wrong in the teaching and learning environment. Level 1, the proactive measure, it talks about creating a disciplined environment by setting rules positively, where positive means straightforward and precise. Straightforward and precise means that do not set your rules and regulations for your teaching and learning environment in the negative aspect. When I say negative aspect, I'm trying to say that instead of you writing your rules by attaching do not, just go straight to the point. Tell the learners what you expect of them. For instance, instead of you saying do not litter the environment, say put your rubbish in the dustbin, or sweep the compound always. Don't say do not litter them. If you say do not litter the environment, they explain that you are trying to create a curiosity drive in the learner. So the learner would want to try the opposite of they doing it. If they do it, what will happen? They would like to know. And we know kids are very curious. They would always want to know what happens when they do something. So if you want them to obey by a certain rule, you make the rule precise and you make it straightforward so that they know that that is what you expect of them. But if you take it to the negative aspect, that is saying do not, or attaching don't, or the negative aspects of anything, they would want to try, they would want to rebel and do it to see what will actually happen. After you have set your rules to be precise and straightforward, you go ahead to encourage them. Encouragement means you gift somebody, or you give rewards to those who are able to go by these rules and regulations. If somebody is able to put their rubbish in the bins, you give them something that is going to serve as an encouragement, or is going to serve as an example for others to also go by the rules and regulations that you expected of them to go by in the teaching and learning environment and in the classroom. We move on to level 2. Level 2 talks about early detection and intervention. This means that after level 1, after you have set the rules and regulation, and some people or some students are unable to go by these rules and regulations, then you are going to check them out, and then you explain to them how best you would want, or the reasons why you'd want them to go by these rules and regulations. I've already said the first measure, that is explanation. So you explain to the learner what you expect of them, the reasons behind the obeying the rules and regulations that you have set for them. If the learners still do not go by the rules and regulations after the explanation, then you go on an agreement with them. Hey, this is what I want you to do, but you are not doing this, so what can we do? The agreement should not be one-sided, as in it should not be only you giving instruction. It should be both you and the learner coming to an agreement. You reach an agreement, so it should be balanced. If you do this, that is what you get, so do this so that you can get this. Yes, so that is the agreement measure. If after the agreement still the learner is not listening to the rules and regulations, is not obeying them, then you go ahead to interview them in such a way that you'd like to probe more. You'd want to know the reasons why they are not going by the rules and regulations set for them. You ask more questions, and then you expect answers to these questions. This is going to help you to understand the learner better, to know the reasons behind they finding it difficult to obey the rules and regulations that you have set for them. Then after the interview, you log the learner's behavior in a book. So if the learner is still not obeying the rules and regulations, then you take a book, then you write the learner's behavior. This is going to help you to know who to refer the learner to, or how best you can help the learner. They also felt that you logging the student's name and the behavior that they have done in the book is going to create a sort of fear in the learner, because they felt when students see you doing something like that, they start to feel like, oh, madam is writing my name in a book, oh, why? They start to question themselves, and they start to actually think about what they've done, if what they've done is that bad and they need to change. So that is the logging students' behavior in a book. I'm really thirsty. Okay, where was I? We are moving on to level 3. Level 3 is the corrective measures. So if the child is unable to go by level 1, level 2, then you move on to the corrective measures. This includes reflective period. At this stage, you call the learner, you ask them, why are you doing this? After you have interviewed, after you have done everything that you are supposed to do, still the learner is not going by the rules and regulation, then you help them to reflect on the things that they have done. You ask them questions. Why are you doing this? That sort of communication. So at this point, you are more of you do more of the talking to instill that sort of mindset in the learner, to drive them back to what they have done and the consequences of what they have done. After doing this, you can go ahead to ensure or instill these type of discipline. That is cleaning. They can go ahead to pick around a range of decks, sweeping, weeding, etc. Anything that has to do with cleaning the environment, you can use it as a form of punishment or sanctioning to correct the learner. Then you can also use the designated sitting position. So in this instance, whilst everyone is sitting beside somebody, or everyone is sitting in with their friends, you let the learner sit at a place where it's very designated in the classroom. Kojo, kona kwatnaha, because you did this. So this will make the learner feel very left out of every activity that goes on in the classroom, and they felt that this is a positive discipline action that can be taken in the classroom or in the teaching and learning environment. Okay. Another form of discipline that they expect you to use if all these measures do not work is writing of lines. And what they said is that you are not supposed to let the learner buy the book to write the expected behavior you expect them to exhibit. You are supposed to buy the book with your money, or you talk to your headmaster or anyone in charge to provide the book for the learner, but you do not have to let the learner buy the books. Yes. If all these measures are unable to work, then you move on to referring the learner to a counselor. That is the guidance and counseling coordinator in the school. So they will take the case upon themselves and see how best they can bring the child or bring the learner to book. There is a level 4. And the level 4 talks about the crisis stage and rehabilitation. Now, in the crisis stage, you withdraw responsibilities from the learner. I think this has to do with students that have been assigned a certain responsibility or task in the school. So you take these tasks from the students, and that in itself they felt is a discipline. They felt is a form of positive discipline. Well, these are the positive toolkit measures that is going to help instill discipline and to also help reduce indiscipline in our teaching and learning environments. Do you think it's going to help reduce indiscipline in our teaching and learning environment, or is going to do otherwise? Let me know in the comment section below.